Welcome to TORAH Talk. I'm your host, Wil'Liam Hall, broadcasting live out of Kingsland, Texas, USA, with episode number 6 of Entry-Level Biblical Hebrew. This will definitely be a good show, Let me turn this music down. So, started a little bit late because I started hearing a strange hum in my laptop, which is where I import my Hebrew text from. So, you guys will have to be patient with me here. I'm going to probably use something that I used on a couple episodes ago until the computer actually reboots, because currently it's still trying to restart. And so, Jason Akers, if you're out there listening and watching live, I may have to have you remote in during the show and see if you can figure out, like you usually do, try to figure out what's going on with this Alienware laptop. So same issue as last time. When you turn it up, it's got a weird hum, and it's got this really weird vibratory, weird sound. So it had to do with one of the settings, but I don't remember how you fixed it. So anyway, moving forward, it's good to see all you guys today, and hopefully y'all have had a great past few weeks. I usually don't do the entry level on Sunday, but since we had a 9 o'clock opening, Rabbi Singer is going to be doing his Isaiah pretty soon. So it's going to be not a live recording though, because it's going to be too intensive. So I'm going to kind of piece together a few things. So it's a really nice, impactful. It's one of the most prominent chapters in Isaiah that's argued a lot. So. But with all that said, moving forward, let's see. Let me get up a different screen here, just to pull up what we used before, because I don't think that I've got. Oh wait, maybe I do. Hold on, I might actually be able to do this. I didn't realize I had the software on this computer too, and it looks like I do. So bear with me just a moment, and I will find that verse, because I'd like to start with this week's, with last week's Torah portion actually, just to kind of go over it. But it might take me a minute to figure out where it's at. So, tell you what, let's use what's on the screen for the moment. See, this is the hard part about not having a producer. Since I'm kind of producing the show and doing everything together. Right now, I could have a producer actually pulling it up for me while I talk to you, but that's just not the case in this scenario. So, what you see on your screen right now, I don't know if you guys remember this or not. Let me see if I can actually scoot that over some to get me a little bit more out of the picture here, off to the side. There we go. It's a little bit better for you. So this was, I believe this was Vayikra, which is Leviticus 25. And this was the only chart that I had made. It's a handy chart. It's not all-inclusive, and I'll have to say this again for all you people who are viewing this possibly for the first time. I am not fluent in Hebrew by any stretch of the imagination. I've self-taught my Hebrew, biblical Hebrew, just by intense, nail-biting, trying to figure out different methods of learning Hebrew because I didn't have a Hebrew teacher. And so it's got me a long way, but also it took me on an unorthodox way of learning. So what I've done here on this chart, as I mentioned before, is kind of a collaboration of different patterns that I picked up and things like that. I know there's going to be errors on here. Our friend Gavriel Sanders, who helped me with one episode, he kind of reviewed the chart, and he kind of chuckled a little bit, but he said, not too bad, but there's still some errors on here. But for the most part, that's why this is called entry-level biblical Hebrew. Some of the stuff that you'll hear me talk about isn't really entry-level. It's more moving out of entry-level, not so much in intermediate, but maybe heading that direction. So with that said, let me see if I can pull this. I guess you guys can probably see all these. I can see them pretty clearly on the scale that I'm looking at right now. So as soon as I get this computer, this other screen pulled up here with the actual verse that we're going to go over, I'll actually read from last week's, which is Re'eh, and we'll go over just like from verse 26 up to like 30 or 32, wherever that chapter ends, just 4, 5, 6 verses, whatever. And the pattern's going to be, any shows that I do in the future are probably going to be a few little highlighted, to point back on a few things that maybe come to my mind, but pretty much it's going to be, I'm going to take whatever week I record, I'll do that week's Torah portion. I was going to record this during the week this past week, but I actually had to work, or last week, so it will be prepared for this particular Shabbat. So I kind of like doing things according to the week coming up's Torah portion, Parsha, Parsha portion. Anyway, so that's why I'm actually on Re'eh, because it was for last week, whereas Shoftim, I think, is this week coming up. And so what I want to show you with illustration, though, is I haven't studied Shoftim. And when we go over Re'eh, which was yesterday's Torah Parsha, on those first few verses, you're going to think, man, wow, he's really good at this. But really, I'm not really good at this. I just practice it a lot, which is how I learned the biblical Hebrew to begin with. Is I would, like I mentioned before, I would start with 1 or 2 verses, and I would just study each word, how to say it, and I would keep saying it till it finally flowed, and then I go back and find out what the words mean, and I would do that with 1 or 2 verses, and before you know it, it's 5 and 6 verses, and 7, 8, 9 verses, whatever. So, and just through that hammered efforts like that, it's finally starting to sink in. It's not the best way to learn, but it did work for me, so hopefully it'll work for some of you people out there too, so we'll see. So I'll tell you what, because whenever I pull this up, it's going to take me a minute, so I might as well do that right now instead of delaying, because I'll just try to talk to you while I pull it up. How's that? That way I can, I'll see if I can. I'm not really good at multitasking, though. You wouldn't think that, though, with all the stuff that has to happen during one show, but it really is kind of like mind-taxing. So, screen capture, that's what I want. Give me 1 second, and we'll be moving right along. Let's see, new monitor. Oh, great. I got to pick a monitor. No, I can do a window. That's what I'll do. Yeah, actually, this is almost done already. Give me one moment, though. Bible study. That's the one. Okay, and there it is. Yay, that was fast. Okay, cool. See, that wasn't too bad. You could have just taken a few sips of coffee. All right, now let me see if I can just, I'm going to pull this over. Let's see, is it on 26 already? Should be. Okay, so if you have a Chumash there with you, that you could turn to Deuteronomy chapter 11, 26. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was Parsha for last week. Let me go there right now. 11:26. Wow, there's too many options here. 26:1 would be nice. Oh, come on, already. They must have updated this. That's okay. Okay, there we go. 11:26. No, I'm sorry. Chapter 11. Excuse me. Chapter 11, verse 26. I just realized that was a problem after I saw the chapter layout. Deuteronomy chapter 11. There we go. Okay, 11, and let's go down to 26. You're not seeing what I'm doing, but you will in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to switch over, and then we'll come back to this screen in just a minute. Okay, so let's see. One more thing I want to do real fast. Let me put in a capture device so you can have don't have to sit there and stare at a dead screen, just a screen without any thing. Plus, if I forget to actually switch back over, it'll be easier for me to recover from that. So, all right, so. Give me 1 second here. Figure out which one of these scales to drop down. There it is right there. Okay, beautiful. And we'll do a little crop. I know, sorry guys. I was actually prepared before this thing messed up, and I had to switch computers. I rebooted the computer, and it's still like 10 minutes, and it still says restarting. I don't know. I'm going to have to probably, I may have to send it back into Alienware or something, but it really changed things for me this morning. I do apologize. Okay, so there we go. Now you don't have to look at just a dead screen. Okay, I'm down at the corner. Hi. Okay, so you should be able to follow my cursor. I've got it shown on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the Hebrew through here. But before I do, we're going to give you a quick refresher on not the letters because they're not in order, but I will just kind of scan across the vowels just to kind of give you a memory marker on how they are and what they're called. So starting at this first one, this first semicolon, that's really what it is, 2 dots vertically over and under. It's a shva, and it's just like the name, shva. It's like shh, be quiet. It kind of tells you there's really not a vowel sound there. Although at times when it comes in like after, if it's not the first letter in a word, like here under the fe, it does have a very, very subtle breath sound, but not pronounced. And then this would be the tseri, which has the A sound, just like it sounds in the word. This little T, the way I learned it again was if you extend that line above, like right now it's a minus sign with a little line. And some fonts will actually won't show a line on it, show just a dot, like a line and a dot. But in this case, it's a line. Which is how I cut my teeth on. So if you extend that line up, it would make a plus sign, right? So pay attention to this one, and then scoot all the way over here, and now there's a minus. So if you look at the plus and the minus, right? This is the chamatz. This is the patach. Patach, chamatz. They kind of have the same vowel sounds in the words, which is what they do here. The plus is a more, not less, but a more emphasized ah sound. The minus is a less emphasized, so minus and plus. So when you see that, same vowel, just one's less and one's more of an ah sound, okay? This will be anoki, this will be hayom, so it's maybe shortened, maybe not as dramatic, okay? And then let's see, we've seen the tseri. There is a dot right here underneath this lamed. Let me scroll up just a little bit right here underneath this word. Whoops, sorry. Oh, great. Okay, underneath this word, there's a dot right there. It's called a chirik, and it makes an E sound like in feet, okay? Not a short E like city, but just a hard E sound. Okay, the tseri. Okay, the three dots here. Okay, the line next to this, underneath the kaf, or the chaf, excuse me, is the line underneath this is a cantor mark. It's what they use for illustrating their vocals while they actually kind of sing this Parsha stuff along in the Torah. But the three dots next to it, it kind of, I don't know why, but it just kind of reminds me of like these three little eggs in a basket. And so with that thought, egg, the short E sound, and it's actually called a sagol. Sagol. I hope I didn't just confuse myself because of the egg. But anyway, it does make the short E sound, okay? And then let's see, yeah, there's a couple more. Okay, right here, in this word here, hayom, right? This vav, okay, the dot above it. Sometimes you'll see a dot above. Sometimes you'll see a dot in the middle, right? If it's over the top, it's O. Over the top, it makes the O sound. If it's in the middle, like if that was a person, it was in the middle right here in their gut, you get punched in the stomach. Ooh, that hurt. Ooh, right? Ooh, ooh. O, ooh. Chulam, and then shuruk. Okay? And then underneath, sometimes there will be a three dots diagonal. I'll see them probably later. It's less used. But that would make the like put or foot, right? We use different letters to spell both, but it makes the same sound as O, ooh, Now, there's different, depending on who's teaching it, will teach you differently. I've heard different things from different rabbis depending on where they're from, so how they pronounce it and stuff. But that's the general rule, okay? And if I see any other vowels as we go along, there's a couple I'm missing here, I'm sure. Just in case you're wondering, my screen is like right there. I put it there so it's not turning completely away from me. So, okay, so with that said, okay, so going back to 26. So now you've got the vowels, because by now, the ones who have actually been following along, you should already at least know the letters and the sounds that they make, okay? And so I won't go there. If you want to refresher, you could always go. It's a good thing about recordings. You can always go back. Go back to episode 1. There's only 6 so far. So if you go back to episode 1 and 2, we go over letters. I don't know if I ever went through every single letter, but again, you don't need my video for that. If you'd like to have that done more, then put a note in the comments section. And I haven't been watching the comments because, again, when I'm doing the show by myself, it's kind of it's more distracting if I don't have someone else talking while I'm reviewing things. So I'll try to kind of keep it limited. But I will go back and review the comments that you guys make at the end of the show after it's all done and the video goes up. You guys watch it. You want to put comments underneath there with requests of things you want me to cover, etc. That will be just fine. I don't have a problem with that, like, at all, for sure. In fact, I encourage that. Okay, so starting here at verse 26. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go through it rather quickly, and then I'm gonna double back and we'll go over it slowly. We'll just do 26 to 30. I think 30 is the last. Oh, 32. Oh, there's a lot more in there than I thought. Okay, well, I'll just do like 4 or 5 verses. That was a request somebody had made last time. I was just covering too much territory. That way we can kind of more focus in on this area. Okay. Okay, starting here at 26. All right, Re'eh anoki noten livnechem hayom bracha uklala. And we'll go over the words and what they mean in just a few minutes. Okay, Ed havracha asher tishma'u el mitzvot. That kind of confused me because there's only one vav there. El mitzvot Hashem. That's of course the name we don't pronounce. Elohechem asher anoki mitzave etchem hayom. Verse 28. is here. Let me see if this will help some. I don't know if that helps or makes it worse, but that's what I'm looking at right now. Okay. V'haklala im lo tishma'u el mitzvot Hashem Elohekem v'sartem min haderek asher. My computer just shut off. The other one, the one that's supposed to be rebooting. Maybe it's doing some special work over here. I hope it fixes it. Okay. Min haderek asher anoki mitzave etchem hayom lalechet acharei Elohim acherim asher lo yadatem. Okay, so a little bit of break, but if you notice, it will flow much better whenever you know it, because it's like reading English. You know, you don't even need vowels if you think about this. The vowels are here. All these marks are down here for you. You don't even need them if you are a native speaker. In English, people they don't really understand it. But if you write a paragraph, just a random, maybe 2 or 3 sentences, give yourself enough information to give context, and in pencil, and then go in and erase all your vowels and just see the letters. You can read it without even having our American vowels in there. It's kind of how this works. They're just training wheels. You know, it's not necessary for this language. So, okay, verse 29. V'haya ki yaviacha. I had to recheck that one. Hang on, it sounded weird. Ya. I said ya, but it's ya. It's more like a ya because there's a shva there. So yaviacha Hashem Elohecha el haaretz asher ata. And it also helps too whenever you know what it already says, when you know what the actual context is in the English. It helps you if you know the words, if you know what each word means, right? Like this word here, acharei, means after, right? And I know that already. So when I know what I'm reading and then I see that there, I already know the context, so it helps my brain to connect with my mouth and it flows more smoothly. It's the ones when I don't know what it means that takes me longer to read. And so you're going to find this as an experience for you as well. So see, I don't know if I made it all the way down here. We'll start at 30. Okay. Hello, Hema Ba'aver. That's the city, right? Ba'aver, or the mountain, excuse me, Mount Aber. Hema, I said Hema. Hayardain. I'm getting confused. I'm jumping around too much. I do apologize. Okay, so what is that? 26, 27, 28, 29. We're going to stop at 30. Okay. All right. Let me start back at 29. V'haya ki yaviacha Hashem Elohecha el haaretz asher ata ba shema larishta, not la, but larishta vinatata. That's a strange word. I kind of laugh every time I hear it. Vinatata et havracha al har gerizim. Va'et haklala al har eval. I'm going to stop there, and we're going to go back. And if we get finished up there quick enough, I'll keep an eye on the time. Then I'll add a little bit more to it, and we'll keep going, okay? But I want you to kind of pay attention. It flowed for the ones who speak Hebrew already fluently, and you're really good at this. You're going to chuckle because it takes me, even now, it still takes me a while to get through it. But to the ones who are just now learning Hebrew for the first time, you're probably thinking, wow, he's really must know it really good. But again, like I say, I don't. It's really about practice. I'm going to prove it to you because before we close this session out, I'm going to move forward to Shoftim, which is next week's Torah portion. We're going to kind of go over the first 3 verses of it just to give you something to practice with for yourself for next week. And you're going to see me approach it. I haven't studied it since last year, so we'll see how good my memory is. I have studied it, but just not since last year, so we'll see. Okay, Re'eh. So we're going to read it slower this time, and I'm going to go one thing at a time. And again, before we do, don't get overwhelmed when you see a big word like this, right? And here's how you handle bigger words like this. You're going to go, let's go back up here because we already know that word. Let's go up here to this word here. Let's see if we can see it on the screen. Yeah. Okay. You're going to start one letter and one vowel at a time. Remember the rules. The vowel first, or the consonant, excuse me, not the vowel. The consonant first, which is on top, or the main letter, and then you pronounce the vowel. Don't look at the whole word if you're already confused. Look at one letter and one vowel at a time. This vav, the rule, weird word to start on, but this particular vav doesn't have a V sound because it's used as a vowel only. And because it has the dot in the center of it, the sharuk, yeah, I'm sorry, I get confused again. It makes the oo sound, so it doesn't. It's not vu, because this particular usage of the vav does not have the sound. Now, we did pass a word in here, and I'll cover it whenever we get to it. Mitzvot, which is right here, where the vav and the vowel is used, but that's very rare. Usually when you see a vav and a vowel, you ignore the sound of the vav. But in this particular word, it's not the case, so maybe we'll call that the exception of the rule. So here, oo, and then k. This kuf makes the k sound like q, or it's really hard to make a q sound in English without visualizing a qu, like quick. But that's how it was illustrated to me the first time, is the this particular letter, the kuf, actually makes like the q sound. So ook. I don't know if you can visualize your tongue making a quick sound, but that would be it. So oo, k, la, la. And of course, this is silent. I'm missing part of my llama. There we go. So one consonant, one vowel. Oo, a consonant and vowel. K. There's no ah, there's no o. It's just ook, right? So earlier I said that with the shva, sometimes it'll make a subtle breath sound. So ook, and it could on this. I don't know this one. I'd have to check with Gavriel or someone else who's fluent with this. But in this case, I've pronounced this ook. Ook, la, la. It's silent, like Sarah, S-A-R-A-H in English. You don't say Sarah, huh. You just say Sarah, but that hey is there. So let's go to another larger word. Like here, this isn't really big, but it's a larger. This word here, practice with me again. This is the chirik. Let's go over the vowels on each word. Chirik. This, if you remember, or if I didn't even cover it, this letter shin looks like a W, or the number, if you go like this, 3, that's a good way you could actually illustrate. Right? There's always, when the vowel points are present, there's always going to be a dot over the left or over the right that's not a vowel. It's going to tell you which one. Yeah, I think we did cover this actually. That's okay. It will tell you which letter or which sound this letter shin, sin, makes. If it's over the right side, it makes the sh sound. And if it's on the left side, it makes the s sound, like snake or sin. So sin, shin. Okay? And the way I remembered it, mentioned it before, sin is never right. When you sin, it's always wrong, right? Well, sin, the letter sin, which makes the s sound, is never on the right side. It's always on the left. Remember that. So this is a chirik. This is the sh marker. This is a shva. Both these are shvas, so it's kind of a weird way to pronounce. This is not an easy word really to do. This ayin is a silent letter. It's simply, it doesn't make any sound at all. Sometimes it will have a vowel present, and then you'll make the vowel sound. It's really a vowel. It's really more like a placeholder for a vowel. And then again, the vav with the dagesh in the middle of it is the oo sound. So t, sh, m, oo, tishma oo, right? Don't know how accurate that was, but I'm going to try to find another one for you, and then we'll go back and reread some more. This one, if you don't know, this is an easy one for you to remember. If I can get it to highlight. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This, get off there. Come on now. Okay. Well, okay. We'll use the whole thing. Et havracha. Let's see if I can give you something different to look at here. And yeah, actually, we'll go over this other one, too, now that I'm looking at the screen over here. Okay. Et. Just forget the et part. This is, I don't know what that's there for. It's something I've always been curious about, but I never asked. I guess it's more to really connect the two words together. Okay, so again, one consonant, one vowel. Consonant, vowel. Consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, right? So you're going to break it down. This is the letter hey, makes the huh sound like you're breathing out like really heavy, like the word hey. Okay, patach makes the ah sound. So it makes ha, like aha, right? This is the letter bet. It doubles. It's a bet or vet, right? And if it's got the dagesh in the middle, it's the letter B sound, like you're betting a penny. That's like a little coin inside the pot. So this is the letter bet. If there's no penny there, no dagesh mark, then it makes the V sound like the vav does. Okay? So this would be ha, b, like ha, b, and then resh, right? Kamatz, and then chaf, chamatz, and then hey. So, ha, b, ra, cha. Right? Remember the hey silent, so we kind of blended that in. So, havracha. Right? It's like abracadabra, which actually is derived from Hebrew anyway. So, okay, so let's see if we can find one more. We may even pick one that's not in what we just... Let me do this right here. Here's a really different one. All right, right here. This is a good one. I think it is. We'll find out as we go through it. Okay, so now you'll see the vav here, and it does not have a dagesh in there, right? It doesn't have the cholam or the shuruk. It just simply has the letter with a shva. So it makes the vav sound, which is a v, right? So v, that's a shva, so it doesn't go va, it just v. Ha, letter mem. The dagesh in the middle, don't ask, I'll have to find out. I know there's some Beget Kepet letters, but that's not one of them, which has got me even more confused. So I think sometimes it represents their double letters sometimes, and they'll put that there and they'll take a letter out for condensing purposes, but I don't know if this is it either. So, v, ha, mi, sh, pa, ti, yim. The yud is there. It's noticeable if you say it really slow, but as you go, the word is va hamishpatim, right? So if you think about it, kind of like the hey, the yud is almost silent, but it's really not. Hamishpati, like tea. You could literally say like drinking tea out of a cup. If you really wanted to say there was a y at the end of that, you probably could. So then you can kind of look at it that way. But so it's there, not really super phonetic. The way they pronounce this is hamishpatim. So ha, mi, sh, and again another sh doesn't have a vowel. Hamish, kind of like a stop sign, if you will. Hamish, pa, team. That's how we get there. Okay, so let's see what we got here. All right, let's go back to 26. Re'eh anoki noten lifnehem hayom beracha uklala. Okay, see or look. Anoki, I. Anoki, ani is also I, but in this, I'm not sure why they use this form, but that's really what it means, I. Notain, I give to you, or place. Lifnechem, before you, or before your face. Hayom, this day. Yom is day, hayom is like today, like today, or this day. Beracha uklala, which is a blessing and a curse. Like you see, Baruch, there's your root word for the Baruch right there, or bracha, right? Uklala is a curse. One thing I've noticed, and this isn't always the case, but I've seen it a lot. I haven't studied it intensively, but I noticed it a lot of the times, and there are definitely exceptions, but when you see a double lamed together, it turns out the word's not really a great word. It's like a negative word somehow. But one major exception would be hallelujah. I think it's spelled with double lamed, but everywhere else I've seen is really interesting, the negative connotation. Okay, so that was verse 26, 27. Oh, by the way, you can tell in their intentions of the verse breaks too. This is something I did for all you who are not really good book studiers and learning according to the schooling of how you teach people. The first Torah scroll I got, it had all the vowels, which was a blessing. It was a small plastic, like a training scroll, but it didn't have any numbers or anything like that. It just had all the Hebrew, and then it had this little mark at the end, which also looks like a semicolon, right? But it had those in there, and after about 3 months of going one letter at a time, matching it up with the Chumash, trying to find out where the end of the Parsha, the actual Parsha was of each verse, I realized that this little thing just so happened to be like a period at the end of every sentence, so to speak. So I was able to, instead of reading the words, I started counting those little marks, and then I could actually get there way faster, and that helped. So anyway, I don't know if that's going to help you at all, but so this is like the end of the sentence here. Okay, et habracha asher tishma'u el mitzvot Hashem Eloheikem asher anoki mitzave etchem hayom. Okay, so 27, et habracha, the blessing, which asher tishma'u, shema is the root word there. Shema, if you hear and obey, if you listen, hear and obey. If you shall, the T, if you look at this screen here for a second, if you remember, the tav in the beginning of a verb is indicating something that you shall do. You shall, it's like I don't know how you explain it. I've never really studied grammar in English very much, but But that's kind of where it's going. Okay, so a blessing. Let's see. Excuse me. Yep. The blessing which you shall. This is really interesting. There's a neat midrash on the teaching on this. Is why it's worded this way. And you shall hear and obey el mitzvot Hashem, the commandments of Hashem Elohim, the Lord your God. Your plural. Asher Anoki, which I, Mitzave, command etchem hayom, which I commanded to y'all today. Okay, we'll probably do one more, and then I'm gonna scoot forward because it's already 9:40. I'll scoot forward to the next portion after this next verse. Okay, uklala im lo tishma'u. So, and a curse if im is if, lo is no. Now you'll see another lo in here with a lo and a vav. The lamed vav lo is masculine. It's saying him. It's like masculine singular or whatever, depending on how it's used in context. But if you the letter vav is number 6 and also supposed to have an indication of man or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, so if you see the lamed vav, then you'll know that means him. It doesn't mean no. But in this case, it's lo. So uklala im lo tishma'u. So a curse if you do not listen. El mitzvot Hashem Elohim, the commandments of the Lord your God. Visarta, again the vav, no vowel. Visartem, excuse me. I don't even know what that word means. What does it mean? Oh, you can't see that screen. That's too bad. Okay, it means, oh yeah, turn aside. That's right. Okay, I forgot that word. Let me get that screen off here. Okay, Visartem min haderek. If you turn away, min haderek, from the path, asher which anoki I command, mitzave, etkem hayom, lalechet, to walk, acharei, after, or it's used mostly as acharei usually means after. In this case, walk after. It kind of makes sense to us. Walk after Elohim, acharim, other gods, not after. Yeah. So acharim. Acharim. So you see acher and acharim, which would after and other is the way it's used. So context is it tells you what to use where. Let me back up. Sometimes I get talking too much and I go way past myself. I'm gonna slow down some on this last sentence here. Okay, we'll just start right here. Visartem min haderek, and we turn away from the path which anoki mitzvah, which I command etchem to you all. Hayom, today, laleket, to walk acharei, after Elohim, acharim, after other gods, asher lo yadatem, which you have not known. So, okay, so I'm going to stop there for this one here, just for a second while I pull up the other verse. I'll put this other screen up here. I don't think I've got that available. No, I don't. That's okay. Okay, so you guys can just look at this for a second. Let me actually scoot it up some, so that way you can kind of see what I did here. There we go. And while just glance at this for a minute or so, just to kind of remember what I had here. Let's see, I can't point with this because it's on the wrong screen, but like the lamed, if you notice all the lameds in the beginning of each word, they have this. Well, I can't point that far. Look at the bottom box all the way to the left. Prefix, it means 2, unto, or 4. So if you learn the prefixes and the suffixes and their patterns and stuff, you can actually figure out what a root word is just by a process of elimination in that regard. So just kind of take a glance at that for just a minute. And let me see. I know we're on show team. Let me get, pardon me. Let me find out where. By the way, this app that I use on my phone is absolutely wonderful. I don't know if I can show it to you because I can't get it close enough to the screen. I could zoom in, but it gets pixelated. But there's an app on here called the Tanakh Bible. It's like a square box. The icon is a square box with the letter Aleph in it, and the box is purple. But it's amazing. It's got the Hebrew and the English, got the vowels. Really, really good. I think I paid for it, though. I can't remember. It's been a while. I've had it for like 3 years. But it's really wonderful. Okay, so Tanakh, I'm going to go to Chumash, and we're going to go to Deuteronomy, Shoftim, Rishon. Okay, 17:13. Okay, so let's go to Deuteronomy. Let me switch back to the screens here where we were. Okay, it said 17:13. All right, so Deuteronomy, probably faster just to go this way, I think. 17, there we go. 13. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, let's see if this is it. This should be it, unless I started on the wrong one. Bakal, Yisra, Ishmael. Okay, so the name of each Torah portion, Torah Parsha, is that already shown? Shoftim, right? No, the very first word should be Shoftim. Hold on a second. Sometimes the words are, the actual verses in the English and the Hebrew don't match up. Sometimes they'll be off one or two verses. And this software that I'm using that you see on screen is not from a Tanakh Bible. It's actually from like a Bible producing company. So let me see. 16:18. No wonder I'm in the wrong. I looked at the last verse. That's why. Let me go back up some. There it is right there. So in this case, it's correct. Okay, so here we go. All right, Shoftim. Okay, Shafat is the root word. It means to judge, rule, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Shoftim. Can you see it on the screen? Yeah, okay. So Shoftim. Now, here's 2 dots over the shin. Okay, so that would tell you that there's a vowel being used also. Okay, so there's only supposed to be one vowel when you see on a text that actually has vowels being used. In this case, this is the vowel would be over the right side. So this is a sin, not a shin. Sotrim? No, I was correct. That's really weird. I know what the word is and I know how to pronounce it. It's Visotrim, but I don't know. Because this is yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, the vowel, the left dot indicates that it's a sin, not a shin, and the right dot is telling you it has the O sound with this, which is a very unique usage, but it does happen. It's not very frequent though to have a vowel over a shin, but it does happen. Okay, Visotrim, T10, Lecha. Now this right here, I said do the consonant first and then the vowel. In this case. It's backwards on the letter Chaf, Chaf on the end of a word, which is like this letter here, looks like a backward C, and this letter is the same letter. One's like in the middle of a word and one's on the end. When you see it at the end of a word, it's actually the vowel is reversed. The vowel comes after the letter. So Lecha. Okay, so Titen Lecha, Bakol Sha'arecha is a shin. Remember, sin is never left. I mean, yeah, sin is never right. It's always left on the left side. Not sa, sa'ah, because it's a shiva, meaning stop. So say the letter, or one letter at a time. S-ah, no sound on the ayin, just the vowel that it carries. Sa'arecha. Asher Hashem Elohecha, noten lecha, lish batecha. That kaf you'll see is always, it's very, very used quite a lot, and it means yours. It's something that belongs to your, or basically we'll just stick with that for now. Okay, lishavtecha. Okay, if you notice the word, some of you can pick out the shuv, I think is the word here. No, shavet, excuse me, rod, staff. Okay, cool. I wish you could see when I click on this. I'm clicking on it here, and it shows me on the main screen, but it's not showing you here, and I was hoping it would. I'll see if I can set it up like that next time. Hey, at least this way I can sound smarter. V'shaf tu, v'shaf pei fei. The pei has a penny in the middle. The fei does not. Double letter. V'shaf tu. Remember the oo? O, oo. Got hit in the stomach. Vowels in the middle right where your tummy's at. If it's over the top, it's o, oo. Like by your foot. That actually worked out pretty good. Et ha'am mishpat tzedek. Okay. I don't know how much further we should go, because this has actually been probably longer than the last class, I think, and I know some of you requested not to have too much content in here. So we may go ahead and kind of wrap it up there, because I do have to get ready for 11 o'clock show also, and I've got a few things I've got to repair on this other computer, so I've got to figure out what's up with the sound. So I may go ahead and call it a wrap at this point. So Yeah, so basically this was episode 6. I'm glad you all got to see it and tune in. I don't know when episode 7 will happen. It may be next month. It may be a couple months from now. But if I get a lot of feedback from you guys, positive feedback, I think my Hebrew sometimes is better than my English, that you would like to have more of these classes sooner, then send me messages either on the video comments below or on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe to or like the Facebook page, because whenever I do post things on Facebook, through that account, it will send you messages. And also subscribe to the Facebook page if you want to. Let me just get rid of some screens here. I got too much stuff going on here. I actually put up a little, just so you could find it really easily. I actually had this up last time, and I didn't realize I had an extra letter in there. It was kind of funny. So, but yeah, kind of subscribe to the YouTube channel, and just send me some messages. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm spending too much time in one area. Now, keep in mind, there's hundreds and hundreds of people out there, and they all learn differently, right? So if you give a suggestion and I don't follow it to the T or whatever, just understand this. I have to take all the suggestions and kind of blend them together and try to find a happy middle ground there. So just kind of go with that. And feel free to share the video with your friends, somebody who's learning. If you want to learn intermediate and higher, then you're going to want to turn into Hebrew for Fun and Profit, which we do also today. Will happen at 5 p.m. Be happening at 5 p.m. today. So it's some more of an upper level, and there's a lot more resources given there. On this show, I'm pretty much really sticking to the regiment, the plan of kind of going with each week's Torah portion, with each Parsha, just because sometimes it's fun for you to, when you're reading through your Chumash, and Saturday's coming along, and all of a sudden you've got preparation for how to pronounce the words coming up in the first few verses of each Torah portion. It's actually quite nice. I enjoy that myself, so I figured maybe you would as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you. Hey, Jason, I see you're watching. I just now looked at my YouTube channel. Yay for Windows 10. In a minute, if you want to, give me a call. I'm going to have you remote in and see if you can knock out this sound issue. Same exact sound issue it was last time, I'm pretty sure, because it had that weird... Yeah, anyway, you remember how it was probably better than I do. So thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you guys again in the future. Same time. Well, actually, it won't be same time or same place. Same place, yes, but not the same time next week. It'll be based on the request for the show, and how busy the schedule is. So again, thank you all. I really love you guys, and thanks for all your support. Shalom, shalom.